NSFW. What was the most difficult thing to explain to your parents? Why being around them makes you miserable? That's not just me, right? Totally get you. Like sometimes you just want to be left alone to process some complex thought which isn't related to them and which doesn't need a doctor appointment, nor do I want to discuss after the incident how the modern job market works. They could not understand how you could come home from an interview and not know if you got the job. They could not understand the concept of having multiple interviews for the same job. They could not understand why the company will never call you back. They could not understand how companies could have the audacity to conduct normal operations after I submitted my application. I went over this and over this, by my mom's, in my opinion, conservative estimation, 50 times, and they still could not understand. Just tell them to apply for some jobs themselves. My dad gave up complaining about this sort of stuff after he had to look for a new job. I love my parents and they're both smart and open-minded, but trying to teach my dad to do anything with his cell phone makes me want to just jump into a wood chipper. My mom is equally unwilling to learn how to use her phone. She acts like she never touched technology before in her life but has worked an office job with a computer for 20+ years, but she just throws her hands up and says she can't do it like I do. No, you just won't. Exactly. I remember when my aunt was setting up her new phone, a prompt came up telling her exactly what to do and she called me over. I asked her if she even read what it was telling her to do and she said no. All I did was read what it told her to do on the screen and she immediately did it. Like, what? Do you seriously need my help? Then not every screen is a touch screen, so stop bloody leaving your grubby finger marks all over my laptop and the telly, you Neanderthals. But you know, more nicely than that. Let me guess, young kids? My friend's little brother is beep for this, even with a 60-inch TV edit. I meant like young kids. Pay attention to your typing, everyone. Our facepalm. It took a decade to get my parents to stop touching their computer screens and leaving prints, many years before touchscreens became a thing. Same parents went ballistic when we touched the TV screen as kids. That I am a person with a life and goals outside of their desires. My dad randomly approached me saying he wanted to drive 3 hours away that evening to do something for his hobby. I had no warning, only an hour's notice, and he guilted me when I told him I had plans in the morning and couldn't drive out of town. Sounds like my family raised me to be pet for them, not to become who I am, be what they want me to be. How I met my fiancé. We met on a beep site. So there were hot singles in my area. Unfortunately, there weren't. She lived pretty far away, but I slid into her DMs and we managed to make it work. I'm imagining you growing old and senile, sitting on a rocking chair in your front porch, surrounded by 3 or 4 little grandkids with high-tech eye implants and the jumpsuits from Star Trek, and they're asking you, Grandpa, how did you meet Grandma? And you start rambling on about Beep Site in the relatively early 2000s, while your grown daughter tries to get you to stop talking, and advertising the future space chocolate chip cookies she just made, but not in a women should stay in the kitchen and bake sort of way, but that in an enlightened future society she has dynamically chosen to be a cookie baking mom when not at her day job of Thunderdome wrestling. Okay, how long you been sitting on this one? Playing Cards Against Humanity with my parents. There were a number of terms that we just said. You gotta Google that, Mom. OMG, playing that with parents sounds so awkward. True story, dated a girl I met at the gym. We went to her family's vacation house in Maine for a weekend with her parents, her sister and brother-in-law. We had only been dating for about 3 months. That's the game her sister picked to play. Mental health and how it's not so easy to just get over depression. Not just to parents. Trying to explain mental illness to anyone that doesn't or hasn't suffered from it is hard. I feel like there are definitely some people that are exceptions. I've never had or been diagnosed with depression, but I'm positive I know what it feels like to suffer from it. That they needed to stop commenting on my acne and how pimply my face is. I'm a teenager. Whoa, I am so sorry to hear that. As for the acne, I hope it will get better in time. Are you trying some dermatological products? Maybe seeing some other specialists could do no harm. That them touching me in absolutely any way makes me uncomfortable, even just like a poke on my arm. My Mill does not understand this. She refused to acknowledge my existence for a whole day because I didn't let her tickle me. Ninja, sometimes I consider just laying it all out there. She can't handle serious things, so I wonder just how comfy she'd feel if I just yell out, "I've been raped before and did not grow up with physical contact and I have PTSD and you touching me makes it feel like all the cells in my body are made out of needles." Yeah, I have a somewhat similar experience. I have an aunt who constantly slaps my beep, and when I ask her to stop, she starts yelling at me, telling her it's disrespectful to say no to your elder relatives. She stops though, so I'm pretty okay. Hope you are too. Y'all, that is extremely not okay. She shouldn't even do it once. I'm really not okay. As mentioned in my Ninja, I got the PTSD. My MIL's complete disregard for boundaries is a huge trigger and puts me into extended anxiety breakdowns. But I'm getting therapy, and we're working on moving out. It was a mistake to live with them in the first place. I foolishly thought they understood boundaries now. Turns out living with them equals full-on regression, as in boundaries are apparently insulting now. Playing Cards Against Humanity and my mom asking what pixelated bukkake was. Playing Cards Against Humanity with your family is just asking for this sort of asterisk 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 asterisk. My parents asked me to play with them once and I said no, for precisely this reason. That Steam is a legal marketplace and buying games there is not pirating them. They just won't accept that you can buy things for that cheap online, and also don't believe me when I say that the games themselves actually sell illegal digital copies of their games. It didn't make things better when they bought Oblivion to my brother on my advice because he has a really crappy PC and is a huge Elder Scrolls fan, but it couldn't run it with sound. So, instead of admitting the machine was too weak or at least inadapted to play that game, they blamed me of tricking them to them buy a fraudulent copy and that it would be my fault if Steam, the multi-billion-dollar company that sells millions of games every day, hacks our bank account and steals all our money. Honestly, they are great parents most of the time and I love them, but there are very few topics like that, where they are absurdly stubborn on even more absurd ideas. Fortunately, I took advantage of the many free copies given on the various gaming services to now have around 100 great games, and now I can actually buy things on my own through PayPal. Edit. They also refused to buy me Minecraft when I was 14, not because of that piracy stuff but because it was too violent. To this day I don't understand. Did they make a refund in the end and/or understand they're wrong? That I respect people. I fortunately do not have this problem, as both of my parents taught me to respect other people regardless of their origins, skin color, orientation or religious faith. It saddens me when I see people I know having hateful comments because their parents taught them to hate people because of those reasons. There's a difference between loving and understanding your children. That I never lost my faith, because I never had it to begin with. Even as a young child, faith seemed like asterisk 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 asterisk. And the community I got from going to church wasn't even as good as the one I got from going to Friday Night Magic. So legit, I remember asking my Catholic grandparents about religion as a young kid and thinking, so you believe in all this stuff even though there's literally never been any proof? Seems pretty dumb tbh. I've since matured that line of thought and appreciate how important faith can be to some people. It's just not for me. That their alcoholism during my upbringing directly influenced mine. I don't blame them for my addiction, but when I did come out and admit it, their total denial, failure to acknowledge their own addictions was kind of heartbreaking. I didn't even try to push it, I just let them think it, mostly due to pressure at work. Why I can't pause an online game. My mom actually understands how online games work. I'm very proud of her. Edit typo. Same here, when I was younger. Mom, son, supper is ready. Me or my brother, hold on, I am playing online. I'll come down as soon as I'm done with this match. Mom, okay. I'll put your plate in the microwave in case your game takes longer than you thought. The fact that she bought our PC in 2005 alongside Battlefield 2 also helped her realizing the realities of playing online. Anxiety and depression are real things. Having friends of the opposite beep does not mean I want to beep asterisk them. This When you say that you're not comfortable around them because they're hypocrites and narcissistic, and then they go like you're making a scene. Where I'm from, I didn't do anything wrong, and then starts crying saying stuff like, why are you just overreacting, for no reason, and then wonders why I don't open up to them. I am quiet at school. Every joke ever. Ha. When I moved into my new apartment with my 2 roommates and they got the tour, and this is mine and BF's room. Those were some looks. My sexuality. Why I self-harmed. Are you okay? You taking away my electronics won't make me clean up or study more. Clean your room and your homework. I don't get homework, and if I do it instantly. I never mess up my room either. So, it did help. Any insecurities of mine, I'd say. Trying to explain them how to use anything technology related. That I don't like them. I want to move away. I have had depression for years and it can't just be yelled away. I don't hate asterisk 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 asterisk. I have feelings. I don't like the dictatorship they've established. I'm my own person and not something for them to use. My parents are hard work. That you're not a kid anymore. Sometimes my dad treat me like if I was a baby that doesn't know anything and is annoying. They don't even know how toxic they can be. And telling them they're wrong never goes right. That's why I am desperate to earn and get my beep, not dependent on toxic people. That I am trans, I don't like being touched on my back waist, that I don't like it when they want me to kiss them on the beep lips, that I am slow on my social skills, that I can't process everything they tell me cause I have bad short-term memory, that they're racist, queerphobic.